Hello, welcome to Scrap Time episode 883. My name is Christine, and on today's episode I'm showing you Wendy Vecchi's translucent embossing pastes. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this card using a variety of products from Wendy Vecchi. And you can sort of see the flower here, how it has sort of glossy, and that's going to be our final step when we add the clear embossing powder or clear embossing paste over top of the flower. So let's get started working through our steps. I'm working on a smaller piece of paper. This is the Tim Holtz Distress watercolor paper. It's an A2 size, whereas my other card was 5x7. This is 4 1/4 by 5.5. And I have this new stencil here from Wendy. And when I do it, I like to just sort of have it going off the side just a little. It's just a personal preference how I like to place my stencil on. And I am using some archival inks to color it in with the cut and dry foam. This first one is emerald green. So I just hold my my stencil in place while I'm going to do the stem in this green. Now Wendy has some new archival inks as well. I only have one of the colors today, but you can check them out in all her sort of signature colors she likes to use. They're really nice. So now that I have the stem done, I'm going to put that away, and I'm going to do the flower, and I like to do it in a few colors. So I'm going to be using this red, then the Venetian orange, and saffron. So I'm going to start with the saffron on the ends. And add some orange in the middle. And then end with a bit of red. And you can see how the archival inks blend together. Now the reason I'm using archival ink is because I'm going to be putting more ink on top of this, and the archival ink, being oil-based, will resist the other inks and stay true to their colors. I'm going to add a bit more up here now that I've got my other colors blended on there. So when we remove the stencil, we have this really pretty flower. Now I'm going to put away these inks. And I'm going to just hit this with the heat gun to make sure that my ink is dry. So now I am going to bring in some distress inks. And I love the new colors. We have this ripe persimmon, and it's an orange, salty ocean, squeezed lemonade, has some peacock feathers, and picked raspberry. And I usually start with my yellow. And you just blend it on with your blending tool. And the reason why I start with yellow is I find you can blend so many colors over yellow without getting that brown color. So now I'm going to add in some picked raspberry. And I'm going to add in some of the orange. And you can see how beautiful these colors just blend together. I really need to use these inks a bit more than I do. bit of blue. And even though I'm putting blue on orange, it still doesn't really give you that muddy color. And I don't think I'll use Salty Ocean after all. I think I'm going to go back over with a bit of yellow just to brighten it up a bit. Okay, so we'll put our Distress inks to the side. So now we're going to bring in another stencil. This is the honeycomb that Wendy has designed, and we're going to lay it over top, and I'm going to spritz it with water. Turn upside down, I think. And that water is going to react with the Distress inks, but not the archival ink. So I'm going to remove my stencil. I'm going to just let it soak in for a moment. And then and you can see where we got that texture. So where the water removed some of the color, leaving that honeycomb pattern. So I'm going to give this a spritz just to remove some of that water. So that is a great way to add texture to your background without adding another layer or more color or that. It just gives that nice subtle tone-on-tone texture. Now this was another stencil that I love from Wendy. It's called Barcodes. And on my card, I actually put one on the back and I put, "I made this." So I thought that was sort of a cute way you can add to the back of your cards. So I'm going to use, this is one of Wendy's new colors, Potting Soil. And what I did is just did a little border using the edge of the barcode. And it just adds a little bit of design to it. And it's another way you can use the stencil without using the full thing. Just like that, I added a cute little border to the edge. And I have this stamp from her new set. Let's see, it's the Evidence of Art set. It has a lot of great things, and it says, "And I say to myself, what a wonderful world." So I really like that saying, so we're going to stamp that on. Just like that. So now that our card front is almost done here, it's time to add the embossing paste. So Wendy came out with this translucent embossing paste. And it looks white, but when it dries, it's clear. And what you want to do is now we're going to put our stencil back on top. And you want to do this last, so once it's wet, you're not messing with it. And I have a palette knife here. I'm going to pick up some of the paste and then just ice it on. And then I'll remove my stencil. And you can see how great that is. You can see the white of the paste, and you want to wash your palette knife and your stencil off right away because it will, once it's dry, it'll dry on. And now you can heat that with a heat gun to dry, or just let it dry naturally, and once it dries, it will be clear, giving you that nice raised glossy area just on your flower. So it just adds that nice touch to finish a card. So there you have a card made with a variety of products from Wendy Vecchi, as well as some distress products. Well, that's it for today's episode. Be sure to check out our website at www.scraptime.ca. And on our next episode, I'm showing you Viva Color Crackle Paint. Thanks for watching.